A steak that's been a knockout since World War II. A truly revolutionary shepherd's pie. A tavern that's left its mark on Chicago's food scene since the late 1800s.
We can see why it's been here for over 100 years.
And it hasn't changed.
Old school, traditional, that's what people enjoy.
These historic hotspots have been delighting diners for generations.
It's a place that we keep coming back to time and time again.
I don't even know what words to describe it.
Great taste never goes out of style.
Crispy, savory, they're sweet.
The taste of freshness.
Somebody made it with love.
So open wide for a taste of time.
Mind blown. I'm just gonna keep eating because that is delicious.
Chicago has always been a meat lover's town, and when this bastion of beef burned down in the Great Fire of 1871, a supposedly temporary institution rose from the ashes. Green Door Tavern.
It truly is a time capsule. In an area that's surrounded by high-rises and office buildings, this is the one building that slipped through the cracks.
Decades later, Prohibition-era partiers were living it up on the down low here.
The Green Door actually was a symbol of a speakeasy.
And that's how you knew to come in and kind of sneak a couple back.
Even though sneaky sipping is no longer a necessity, the Green Door's charm and their delicious, meaty masterpieces have never gone out of fashion.
We're this little corner tavern that really stands out like a magnet. It just draws people in.
You can still bend an elbow downstairs at the Drifter Lounge or stay upstairs for a classic taste of Chicago, the crispy beef sandwich.
Chicago is still a very meat-oriented town, and we have some solid eaters here. We set out to make a one-of-a-kind sandwich at the Green Door with a lot of flavor, and that's what we accomplished.
To make this sandwich special, Chef Lou goes where few butchers have gone before.
We chose this cut, the beef navel, which is a fairly unused cut of meat because it's a very fatty portion. We're one of the few users in the city of Chicago that actually order beef navel. It creates a great meat for our sandwich because it's surrounded in this flavorful fat. This is almost like the bacon of the cow.
Lou's motto? Just overdo it. He sears 45 pounds of beefy belly.
Make sure we get all of these edges seared so we can caramelize the ends and lock in that flavor.
The seared beef is then submerged in water.
We have to do this slowly or else it creates too much steam.
The beef boils, then gets into some seriously spiced braising liquid.
Since you have a lot of settling, you want to make sure you distribute those spices on the bottom between the two pans.
Cooking with lowness and slowness leads to super softness.
You'll see that they fall apart. That's what we're looking for.
Chef Lou brands some pretzel buns, then crisps some caraway seeds before topping them with the chopped beef.
It's time to throw the Havarti on. It's the best cheese to bring out the flavor of this meat.
That's the kind of gooiness that's begging to be wrapped in a pretzel bun. Then he injects some zing.
We apply our horseradish sauce. I like to stick the nozzle in to let it kind of get inside the meat.
Finally, fries and pickles sidle up to the sandwich.
Green Door Tavern, crispy beef sandwich. So good, you'll want to eat it for the next 100 years.
This is Chicago right here. The flavor of the beef is so good. And you can taste the Havarti in the middle as well. Not to mention the pretzel bun.
The beef is very fresh, and the Havarti cheese just puts it over the edge. Makes it feel almost like a prime rib dinner on a bun there.
Be sure to check out Green Door's fascinating display of authentic Roaring '20s memorabilia. And while you're at it, try a dish that belongs in the Chicago Museum of Flavor, their GDT poutine.
It tastes like a beef sandwich mixed with fries turned upside down. It's a solid treat. Poutine is normally an Indian dish you'll find quite often at truck stops. That's how it became popular. We decided to add our own Chicago flavor.
The first rule of Poutine Club, don't forget the gravy.
We make our gravy here using the drippings from the crispy beef. Just use some basic seasonings of Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of garlic powder, cornstarch mixture. Let that thicken up, and we have our gravy for our poutine.
Chef sears some giardiniera,
A relish that's famous in Chicago, served primarily with Italian beef sandwiches and Italian sausages.
celery. Then comes some pure Midwestern gold in the form of Wisconsin cheese curds.
Let those get melted so we get a really good cheese base going. This is where we add our Italian beef to get that Chicago-style flavor.
Chicago flavor, locked and loaded. Bring on the French fries, baby. And that gorgeous gravy. This really is my kind of town.
Green Door Tavern Poutine, as Chicago as it gets.
Canadians try to claim a lot of things. This is a Chicago dish.
It's a little spicy. It's got that hearty beef flavor, fried potatoes. I think my entire life has led to this moment on this rainy day with this poutine. It's a divine bowl right here.
No need to hide from the fuzz these days. For a hearty helping of history, check out what's behind the Green Door.
I'm just gonna keep eating because that is delicious.
Like a southern time machine, Charleston, South Carolina has been chilling out guests with its homey hospitality since the 1700s.
I love the old charming feel of Charleston, the streets and the buildings.
When you come to Charleston, you want to eat the local cuisine. I mean, that's why you come here.
And for Chucktown cuisine at its finest, Southern belles and beaux head to one address, 82 Queen.
Everybody in Charleston is 82 Queen.
You kind of walk into like a southern fairy tale.
And the fact that this place has really stood the test of time is just a testament to its greatness.
Cheers!
For nearly 4 decades, 82 Queen has kept folks coming back with their signature take on local Lowcountry cuisine.
We were settled by the French. And there's also African influence, Cajun influence, Caribbean influence. All that melds together to create Lowcountry cuisine.
It's happy and comforting. It's just Southern cooking at its finest.
The Queen's Pride and Joy is a contemporary variation on a Lowcountry classic, barbecue shrimp and grits. Their barbecue sauce begins, like all good things, with applewood smoked bacon.
Here's where the flavor starts.
Then some sweet onions and a bourbon deglazing.
Okay, you can't let this go to waste.
Why, I do declare. Then a bit of brown sugar, cider vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, and a traditional Carolina kick.
Yellow mustard's gonna give it a nice twang.
Some ketchup, followed by a rich blend of savory spices.
Now that smells like the Lowcountry.
Now for the Lowcountry guests of honor.
Shrimp aren't gonna take long. We don't want to overcook them. It's off the South Carolina coast. Our shrimp is just better than anybody else's. That's just the bottom line.
The barbecue sauce joins the soiree.
Shrimp and bacon go very well together. Of course, I don't know anything that doesn't go well with bacon.
Creamy stone ground grits lay the foundation for this dish.
A nice hearty helping. Rich with cream and butter. These aren't your grandmother's grits.
Our barbecue shrimp, a sprinkle of cheddar cheese.
A little more bacon, can't have too much bacon.
Some scallions, and we're off to the races.
82 Queen, barbecued shrimp and grits. Lowcountry, huge flavor.
How is it?
Oh my God. This is a Southern staple. You can't come to Charleston without shrimp and grits.
No southern girl is not a fan of grits. If Nico could talk, I think he would love to describe these grits.
The barbecue sauce on the shrimp and grits, I feel like it's a slice of heaven.
For another Lowcountry classic with a twist, tuck into 82 Queen's fried green tomatoes.
I would say these are the quintessential fried green tomatoes that you'll find in Charleston.
Green tomatoes work best because of their texture. They're nice and firm. They got a nice tart flavor.
These babies get breaded and fried. Now, the twist, tomato bacon jam, starting with tomatoes, sweet onions, and bell peppers.
Apple cider vinegar. That's gonna give it a nice tangy bite, and then we're gonna mellow that out with some sugar. The sugar is definitely gonna give it its sweet side, but it's by no means like a fruit jam. It's a little more savory.
A kick of hot sauce and cinnamon.
The cinnamon's gonna give it a very unique flavor. You know you taste something familiar, but you can't really pick it out.
Some spices and, of course, bacon.
It's got a lot of texture to it. You're gonna see the tomatoes, you're gonna see the peppers, the onions, definitely see the bacon in there. A lot of chunks of the Lowcountry.
Some tomato paste.
That's the jam right there.
This southern portrait starts with creamy grits and our fried green tomatoes.
Tomato cheese is a big southern favorite around here. Ours is a blend of 3 different cheeses and some spices and seasonings.
A bit of that tomato bacon jam, and that's 82 Queens fried green tomatoes.
A timeless southern classic with a bacon jam twist.
The first thing about this dish is the crisp. Fried green tomatoes. These are golden, crispy, perfect.
It doesn't taste like the minted cheese I'm used to. You definitely get more cheddar.
It's the tomato bacon jam that is selling this for me. It's so good. I want to take this home and put it on everything.
He goes really well with a good bourbon.
Frankly, my dear, just about everything goes well with bourbon. At Charleston's 82 Queen.
This is as good as Southern food gets.
We're bouncing over to the seaside village of Scarborough, Maine. In these parts, you can't swing a lobster without hitting another lobster. And since 1915, people have been getting their lobster at Bailey's.
I grew up a lobster boat right there. My grandfather used to unload his lobsters right here. The Bailey's is a big name. Our history is quality.
From kitchen window to boardwalk empire, in the last 100 years, Bailey's has sold 30 million pounds of lobster. A lot of that's because of the family's most celebrated crustacean creation.
My great-grandmother is credited with creating the first lobster roll in the state of Maine. So she'd pick out the lobster meat, mix it with mayonnaise, and make sandwiches and a hot dog roll, and history was born.
They'll roll out 400 of these Maine mainstays every day at the height of the season. But when people call for some variety to spice up their life, Bailey's sends in the perfect replacement, the lobster flatbread.
If you have a lobster roll, you're not going to cut it into pieces and share it. But with a lobster flatbread, people can all have a little taste and a bite.
Move aside, marinara.
We do a white sauce rather than a red sauce for the simple reason it enhances the lobster meat rather than mask it. You get Parmesan cheese, extra heavy mayonnaise, garlic powder, very simple ingredients. We're ready to rumble. You like the smell of garlic, nothing better than that. Looking good.
Okay, we've polished off the white. How about a little red?
We use all the parts of a lobster. So you get a little tail meat, a little knuckle meat, a little claw meat. It's a nice blend.
This recipe also calls for a blending of cultures. 2 parts New England and 1 part New Delhi. Because the bread in this flatbread is Indian naan.
It crisps up. It presents itself nice. It doesn't fall apart. The secret of our lobster flatbread, it gets crispy.
It gets toasted, that's what it gets, in the broiler. Then our cousin Vinny starts painting his masterpiece in a decidedly Italian style.
First thing is a garlic-infused olive oil. I like garlic.
Clearly, because the garlic oil is just the bottom sheet to Vinny's blanket of garlic sauce. A handsome helping of the fresh lobster gets in place and waits for the carefully curated selection of cheese.
You don't want to destroy the taste of lobster meat, so you use a very mild blend of cheddar.
The pretty lady spends a few more minutes melting under the Tuscan sun, and then she's ready for the finishing touches, a pizza party cut and a tasty sprinkling of chives.
Lobster flatbread, here at Bailey's.
You can taste the lobster, a little garlic, a little butter, and the cheese is perfect. It's fabulous.
It's a combination of garlic and cheese and the lobster. There's like a seafood flavor to it. It truly is great.
That's why I'm here in Maine for this. This is the reason I'm here.
Actually, it could get a little better by getting bigger. How big? Take a look at this bait shed beauty. The monster.
Every monster has a little over 2.5 pounds, and we're gonna cook them for about 25 to 30 minutes. Honestly, lobsters are one of the easiest things in the world to cook. All you have to do is be able to boil water.
Really? Just any old water?
We're gonna put them into salt water, which we pipe directly in from the ocean. We definitely feel that the seawater makes a huge difference in the taste. We've been using these nets for generations. They're handmade. We have a place where we can write their name and keep track of whose dinner is whose. And then we put each lobster in, just like that, and then put them in the boiler. So we're headed for the hot tub now. Don't forget to write.
When they're red, they're ready, right?
A lot of people believe that just because a lobster is red means that it's done. That's not true. Lobsters will turn red within the first few minutes of putting them in the water, so you should always time your lobsters when you're cooking them.
Sue Reddy's an ear of corn, homemade potato salad, a fresh baked roll, and some lemon wedges. Am I forgetting anything?
You cannot have a lobster without melted butter. I would say that lemon is optional. The monster trapped at table for over 100 years.
Wow. It's a 2.5-pound lobster right
That's
there.
a monster claw.
That's a lot. It's delicious. It's flavorful. It's sweet. You can tell it's fresh. You can tell it's right from the ocean. So it's delicious. This is very special.
There we go. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, truly, look at the size of this thing. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is fresh right out of the ocean. You can't beat this.
That's why we're here at the beachhead, the freshest that there is. And this is what we look for. As hardcore Mainers, we're not going to go where it's not fresh. We're just not even going to bother.
That's more than 100 years of freshness. That'll rock your senses when you roll in for the local lobster at Bailey's Bait Shed.
We're here in Maine, where the lobster
is wicked good. Yay! Ooh, you're strong.
Salsa practically runs through the veins of Angelinos. There's more good Mexican restaurants in LA than aspiring actors. And the true OG primo for the last 90 years is El Cholo.
El Cholo's for me is tradition. We've been coming here since we were young girls, and it's like being with family, and we know everybody. That's why we're here today.
Alejandro and Rosa began the Borquez family legacy of cooking classic Mexican food back in the 20s with the Sonora Cafe. The name may have changed a few years later, but the focus on authentic dishes stayed strong through the decades.
If they walked in today, I think they would say, yeah, you stayed true to the whole thing. And that makes me feel good.
I mean, it's the same recipes since 1923.
Their original chef, Joe Reiner, created a dish that people still clamor for to this day, the Sonora-style enchilada. Chef Felix, tell us more.
This is the original enchilada since the El Cholo opened. It's one of the first enchiladas El Cholo had, having for the last almost 100 years.
Felix antes up some onions, bell peppers, garlic, and tomatoes into the pot. A bit of salt, white pepper, seasoning salt, and cilantro amp up the flavor.
You can see all the spices and vegetables are all blended in and cooked. Now it's time to add on the shredded chicken breast. We add this on, and now we are in the chicken stock.
While that chicken braises, Felix rustles up their famous red enchilada sauce. Oil and garlic first, followed by a picante chile puree.
We're gonna add in the tomatoes, and we just let it cook for about 10-15 minutes. Once the chili starts to blend and all the flavors, then we're gonna start with all the spices.
Which includes allspice, pepper, coriander, oregano and cumin, and chicken seasoning.
So now we're gonna add on the chicken stock once all the spices and the chilies kind of blend in. It blends all the flavors in because we have to let it cook for at least 4 hours.
4 hours later, and let's build some history.
We're gonna start with our tortilla. We're gonna put a little bit of red sauce right here just to kind of get it all nice and moist. And I'm gonna put a little bit of the cheese.
That's followed by black beans, more cheese, and then a second layer. Then, the meltifier works its magic.
It looks great. It's nice and melted. Everything is cooked. Now we do the enchilada sauce on one side, and then we do salsa verde also on the other side. And this is our final touch, which is the egg. El Cholo is one of the first restaurants that is bringing an egg on top of an enchilada. The egg blends in and breaks in, which is fantastic.
Garnished with cilantro, olives, and sour cream. And that, as they say, is the whole enchilada.
Oh my God. It's really good. You're winning with everything. Oh my gosh. All the different seasonings. It's like a party in my mouth. The yolk and the chicken on a higher level. It's something different than just ordinary Mexican. It's like breakfast and lunch and dinner all at the same time.
El Cholo's is the best Mexican restaurant around. I've been coming here since I was 17 years old. I love the food here.
That's a taste decades in the making. The kind you can only find here at
El Cholo!
In the middle of bustling Bourbon Street's non-stop neon party is a time warp to classic New Orleans cuisine, Galatoise.
When you come here, you are going to get the richness and the tradition of the New Orleans culture.
You come through the front doors of Galatoise, you sort of slip past time. 112 years later, it's a thread in the fabric of New Orleans.
It's like you really came back to a place that was here 100 years ago and it hasn't changed.
Keeper of the eternal flame in the kitchen is James Beard award-winning chef Michael Sitchell.
There's a beauty to being a part of a tradition like this because at the end of the day, we are responsible for doing things the way that were done 100 years ago. I love that.
The customers become so familiar with what they've had here, they draw upon the memories, and they want to have the memory again.
One deliciously decadent dish that hasn't changed is their legendary crab meat au gratin.
This is a 112-year recipe that we follow to the T.
Many New Orleans dishes start with a traditional brown roux, but he eschews that roux for a light white.
White roux is when you just cook out the flour just enough that it fills up the amount of butter in the pan. You see how it's thickening slightly? That's making a roux right there.
Carefully adding cream turns this roux into a bechamel.
You smell that roasted flour, the butter? That's a bechamel right there.
He melts in some shredded ched, adds a few green onions, and the crab meat meets the au gratin.
The bluefin crab in New Orleans, the reason that we treasure this crab is because of the sweetness of the meat. It's something special.
As you'd expect at a place named America's Best Restaurant, they only use the best part of the best crab.
And we only serve jumbo lump crab meat at Galatoise. Only the best. That's that beautiful knuckle meat right there. I can eat this all day long.
Our bluefin is a lover, not a fighter, so treat those knuckles tenderly.
Folding it in the way that we don't even break the knuckles up. We love them too much to break them apart.
Those enchanted nuggets make beautiful music with the bechamel.
Crab meat works with a gratin so well because of the sweetness of the milk and the sweetness of the crab, and we blend in the cheese. It's just a perfect complement, honestly.
The top gets a little extra love.
There's nothing better than breadcrumbs and butter to caramelize on top, and when you dip in, you got a crunch, butter, and then you got that beautiful sweet crab meat. It's a combination of textures, flavors, colors, and tradition.
Who's ready for a forkful of history?
Crab meat au gratin, 112 years in the making.
It's the perfect amount of crab, the perfect amount of cheese. It's so rich, it's amazing.
Huge chunks of crab meat, very creamy. It's phenomenal.
Kind of tastes like mac and cheese with crab meat.
Mac and cheese for grown-ups.
Gourmet mac and cheese.
This is pure traditional New Orleans style decadence.
It's one of those dishes that would create a lasting impression. Anytime that I think of crab au gratin, I'm thinking of Galatoise.
You can see why it's been here for over 100 years.
Since going to Galatoise is by definition a special night, do it right. Dress up nice and treat yourself to their most beloved appetizer, oyster and bacon brochette.
Pretty much every customer that comes into Galatoise orders one of these. It is a classic, it is renowned, and most importantly, it is delicious.
The main ingredient is a local boy made good.
What I love about Gulf oysters is that there's a balance between sweet, plump meat and a nice brackish water brine.
In French, brochette means to skewer, so on guard.
You get the smokiness of the bacon, and then you get that plump cook of the oysters. And that's what I love about our style here.
In keeping with the Big Easy's rich seafood tradition, this skewer gets deep fried.
Most important step right now is to shake all the excess flour off. You do not want the flour to be the main part of what you're eating. You want the oyster and the bacon to show.
Finally, a little Creole butter sauce adds yet another delectable dimension.
And there we have it, Galatoire's oyster and bacon brochette.
It's so good. Taste the oyster and the bacon mixed together, and it's so creamy and just light and delicious.
Amazing. The texture on the oyster combined with the bacon is phenomenal.
The flavor just pops out at you. As soon as it touches your tongue, you just are overwhelmed.
You can't get fried oysters and bacon anywhere else in New Orleans. It's a classic dish.
In an ever-changing world, it's nice to know some of the best things stay the same for 4 generations and counting.
Here's to tradition. Cheers.
The Portland food scene has always packed a major flavor punch. Just check out the big, bold beef that's been served for nearly a century at Ringside Steakhouse.
Ringside Steakhouse is a classic American steakhouse. It's been in the same family for 3 generations and is a Portland icon.
They all come here for one thing only, and that's impeccable service and a great steak.
The timeless touch that's made Ringside Steaks a clear knockout for decades is the dry aging process. The prime example, their bone-in ribeye steak for 2.
We have the only in-house dry aging facility that we're aware of in the city of Portland.
A month in this temperature-controlled room makes it so tender you'd think it's on the receiving end of a few of Rocky's right hooks.
This is how they go into our dry age room. This is 30 days later. You can see the difference in what happens to the meat when it sits in the dry age room. The flavor intensifies, characteristics that you don't get with just wet aging. So we're gonna season this guy real nicely.
Chef Bo starts by seasoning the steak with Ringside's secret spices.
It's proprietary, so I don't want to tell you all about it, but it does have kosher salt in there, which makes a great crust on a steak. All right, and then right into our very hot saute pan. Now, after we've caramelized it nicely on one side, we're gonna do a little basting on it. Gotta be careful, it's dangerous work.
The ribeye roasts in the oven before Chef Bo debones it.
Now we're just gonna slice this guy.
A little fleur de sel finishes it off.
The beef jus and the tallow.
Then we surf on over to the side dish, lobster mashed potatoes.
I ate some lobster mashed potatoes about 25 years ago on the East Coast, and I loved them. And I brought it back here to Portland.
First, I'm gonna put some butter in here. Let that melt up. Add some carrots. Up high. Yeah. Let it rain in some onions.
Veggies like carrots and fennel saute with spices, including tarragon.
The tarragon is going to add a licorice sort of flavor to it, which is great with lobster. To intensify our lobster flavor, I've got 3 lobster bodies. I'm just going to drop those guys right in there.
Sherry adds sweetness, and tomato paste amps up the acidity.
Finally, I'm going to add lobster stock and some heavy cream. To reduce this down, strain it out, and we will have our lobster cream.
He adds a double dose of butter, then reveals the secret to this silky sauce, so you better get a pencil.
We're gonna go ahead and finish it with the final ingredient, which is some more butter.
Butter equals good. Got it. Chef pours that luscious sauce over homemade potato puree and tops it with tremendous chunks of lobster.
Our bone-in ribeye, decades of deliciousness.
There's so much flavor to it just because I know the process is extravagant when they're back there prepping this steak and aging it and all that, so it's amazing.
The crust outside of it, from the dry aging, is outstanding. It's just cooked perfectly. The lobster mashed potatoes are buttery, creamy. They hit the spot of a craving. Amazing.
Yeah.
You already got the sauce.
Oh, yeah. You can taste the lobster. The mashed potatoes are down there. It marries with the steak really well. It's just awesome.
When you're looking for a classic contender, Ringside Steakhouse is the undisputed champ.
It is the best steak in Portland.
Coney Island has been taking taste buds on a roller coaster ride for nearly 200 years. But it's not all cotton candy and hot dogs at the Brooklyn benchmark for old school Italian food, Gargiulo's.
This restaurant has such a rich history. It's a place that we keep coming back to time and time again.
Gargiulo's restaurant opened in 1907. We're probably one of the oldest restaurants in Brooklyn. This is a family business dating back from when my father and my uncles bought the restaurant.
The Russo brothers know there are two key ingredients to standing the test of time. One is hospitality.
You feel at home when you walk through here.
Their sweet 16s, their birthday parties, their grandparents' 50th anniversaries. We become part of these families because we've been here for so many years.
The other is, of course, definitive dishes.
We try to keep the old, fair, Neapolitan cuisine. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to make the scampis, the parmesans, the clam sauces, all old school Italian food.
Because old school is always cool, you gotta mange their spaghetti pescatore. Keeping tradition alive means following the house rules.
I always say there's two ways of doing it, the wrong way and my way. You do it and you enjoy doing it. Like they say, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life, and I really do love my job.
One thing he enjoys is some out-of-the-ordinary oil.
I like to use corn oil because it's a milder oil to cook with. Everyone thinks all Italians cook with olive oil. We don't. Now we add a little garlic.
He dives right into the seafood with local-based scallops, shrimp, and calamari. Diced tomatoes add a farm-fresh flavor, then Michael tosses a little bada bing and a dash of bada boom.
I like to add a little hot pepper. It adds a little kick. The parsley seems to bring out the flavor of the fish more. The last thing I had is just a pinch of oregano.
He shells out a few Long Island clams and Prince Edward Island mussels.
Then you add your crushed tomatoes. And now that everything's together, it smells phenomenal. We add the lid at the end to help the clams and mussels steam.
Don't forget the spaghetti.
It's really a traditional thing, spaghetti and sauce. It's just old school, traditional. That's what people enjoy.
He gives it a traditional toss in some sauce.
You don't want plain pasta on your dish. Smells great.
And loads it up with his succulent seafood.
Spaghetti pescatore. Tonight, the spaghetti sleeps with the fishes.
The red sauce is amazing. Seafood cooked perfectly.
Wow, terrific. And you can taste the freshness.
The tomatoes, the sauce, it just enriches the quality of the seafood. Beautiful.
Oh, the calamari, melts in your mouth. Oh, even little scallops. I can't believe that.
Like Italian spices within your red sauce and tons of garlic. It's just everything right in a dish right here.
Chef Michael grew up eating this next dish, spaghettini sorrentina.
This is one of our family dishes that my father put together. He enjoyed cooking at home, and when he was home, this is what he made. We've been making this forever.
It starts with a cut of beef worthy of the big city, filet mignon.
You make your julienne slices, and then you dice it like this, little cubes.
That's meat one. But just like one of the 4 subway lines that stops here, you can always pack in more. While the chicken sizzles, Michael blends a special Brooklyn butter, starting with Parmesan cheese.
A little diced garlic, black pepper, a little salt, a little plain parsley, and then you mix it.
That'll be the base for the sauce after the meats mingle and meet their porky Italian friend.
We're gonna add the prosciutto, a little white wine. Italians love cooking with wine. Salute.
A little pasta water in the pan, as well as that Brooklyn butter, gets everything perfectly saucy.
Where we are now, it's right where it's supposed to be. Has just enough juice so you can flavor your pasta with it.
How would you describe this in Italian?
You're talking the wrong one when it comes to Italian. I'm the American inside. My parents came from Italy, not me.
Michael cooks the thin pasta as his father did before him, then layers the dish onto the plate.
Looks and tastes phenomenal, as always. From my family to yours, spaghettini sorrentina. You ain't ready for this spaghetti.
It's a lot of flavor. The meat's perfect. You get steak, you get prosciutto, you get chicken. It's awesome.
So good. You can tell that it's fresh made. Everything here is just like amazing.
The filet mignon in your mouth and the garlic mixes in with the prosciutto, and then the pasta just finishes it off. It's wonderful.
Definitely goes back to, like, you know, your grandmother on Sunday cooking this for you.
For more than 110 years, Coney Island's Gargiulo's has been serving up the famous flavors of the old country.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck deciding on just one.
Everything here is my favorite. It really is.
Visitors to Boston are surrounded by history the way fish are surrounded by water. There's so much, you might miss some, unless that history is mixed with authentic Irish fun, like at Green Dragon Tavern.
By far my favorite bar in all of Boston.
Yeah, awesome food, awesome atmosphere in the heart of Faneuil Hall.
The Green Dragon first opened way back in '54, 1654 to be exact. In those days, the place was considered revolutionary.
Daniel Webster, Sam Adams, Paul Revere, John Hancock, they all met in the basement of the Green Dragon Tavern and planned the American Revolution.
Legend has it Paul Revere did some carbo loading at the Dragon before galloping off on his midnight ride. And what did he have for dinner? The Green Dragon's own legendary shepherd's pie.
My father, John Summers, came from Ireland, and he really wanted to focus on the Irish role in the American Revolution.
So Noelle's father bought this historic pub and restored it to its former glory. She keeps tradition alive with her family's gravy recipe, which begins with a basic roux.
We're gonna start with butter. You can never have too much butter. The gravy really brings me back to my childhood and how my mom used to be at the stove at Thanksgiving, Christmas. It brings back a lot of memories when I'm making it. We put in a little bit of beef base just to give it a depth of flavor. We want a rich, dark brown color coming through on our gravy.
Next, a shower of seasonings. Thyme, rosemary, salt, pepper, fresh garlic, and a shot of house red wine. Chase that with a wee taste of Ireland's favorite beer. Even Sam Adams would approve of that.
Stout is pretty common in Irish gravies. The stout actually adds a lot of earthiness, some good undertones in there, and gives it more protein.
And with that, Noelle's family-style gravy is ready. But we're just getting started. Let's share about our fillings.
So traditional shepherd's pie is actually made with lamb, but my father didn't like lamb, so we make ours with ground beef.
Once it's sporting a tan, that beef gets the same seasoning as the gravy. Fair is fair. Maybe a little more than fair.
So I tend to go a little heavy on the garlic. So if you're on a date, you might want to wait to order this till your next time in.
Now bring on the veggies. First down, a huge New England pat of butter, along with carrots, peas, and onions. Then this old world dish gets a second New World twist.
Another non-traditional ingredient, corn. My father loves corn, so we put it in our shepherd's pie.
Making shepherd's pie is not always easy as pie.
So in this step, you always want to be careful, you know, of the grease falling into the flame.
The meat and 4-veg partner up, do the Irish gravy dance, and disappear under a blanket of homemade mash. Toast the top. Some extra gravy for luck, and the jig is up. For service.
I don't even know what words to describe it. Maybe heaven? I don't know. It's fantastic. It's perfect.
Some potatoes, some beef. There's a little bit of vegetables in there.
It's all my favorite foods in one bite, one dish. That gravy is through the roof. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Since we're in Boston, wicked awesome.
At the end of Boston's food rainbow, you'll find the Green Dragon Tavern, where American history meets old-time Irish pub grub. It's a combination worthy of more than a few cheers. The big takeaway from these long-standing institutions? The best way to sweeten your memories is to sprinkle in a little time. It's kitchen craft at its most elemental.
To cook on open flame is art.
The fire, that's why we're here.
There's something kind of primitive about it.
We're talking food meets flame.
You can smell it when you walk in the door.
It tastes like it's been smoked for days.
You can definitely tell it's wood fired.
Hard to argue with results like these.
Oh my God.
It's very juicy and tender.
This wood-fired crust is lit.
The heat is on in food paradise.
Fired up.
With its perfect mix of Midwestern tradition and metropolitan invention, Chicago has a food scene that's not just hot. It's on fire, and they say the flame burns brightest at El Che. Chef John Mannion calls El Che a love letter from his travels in Argentina, a fiery romance that inspired an authentic live firing on the meat. Chicago is all fired up for El Che's addictive thin-cut pork chops.
I grew up in Brazil.
Down, as in, hey, man that fire. El Che is turning Chi-Town into
Here.
When you're 5,000 miles from Buenos Aires with a burning desire for some sexy, hot South American cooking, Chicago's El Che Bar will light your fire. Down in Greenville, North Carolina, you can roll down your window and basically follow the aroma to smoked pork country.
Eastern North Carolina, hands down, has the best barbecue.
That's going to be a whole hog placed on a pit, cooked over hardwood coals, because that defines barbecue here in Eastern North Carolina.
And this fellow would know, because the smoke from Greenville's Sam Jones Barbecue pulls them in for miles around.
You can smell it when you walk in the door. I mean, they've got the wood outside right there for a reason.
Cooking food with wood adds a distinct flavor that you cannot achieve in any other way. That's why we hadn't deviated a whole lot in what our family started doing 70 plus years ago. Before technology, it was meat, fire, person.
Sam's fam is pretty well known in the open fire biz. His grandpa ran the legendary Skylight Inn Barbecue, which won a James Beard Award in 2003.
We laugh and chuckle about it, and I still today will hang my head a little bit that we didn't know who the James Beard Awards were.
But Sam has no reason to hang his head these days, serving up classic open fire goodness with his chopped barbecue plate.
Our pork is a little different because we cook the whole hog over wood. We then blister the skin and include that in the dish itself.
Back in the smokehouse, the pork gets a water and salt bath before hitting the smoker,
which aids in our process of using the blistered pork skins in the dish. It aids in drawing that moisture out.
Onto the pit. After 18 hours, the heat deflector is removed to get the skin nice and crisp.
It's almost the consistency of a thick potato chip, where when you put it in your mouth, you'll understand why God loves you.
Amen. A little more crispy and then chop to it. But seriously, how about that skin though?
You hear that? It is all about the crunch. This is where I was born into. It's whole hog, wood-fired, hand-chopped barbecue.
Plus, the classic seasoning of salt, pepper, hot sauce, and apple cider vinegar.
Barbecue in this part of the country has been seasoned with vinegar for years. Some say dating on back to when the Eastern Shore was settled, when vinegar was applied as a preservative rather than an actual flavoring of a dish.
Meanwhile, Sam's partner, Michael, whips up some barbecue sauce for the table with more vinegar, ketchup, sugar, and spices.
This is going to be a barbecue sauce that's on the sweeter side. However, we are in Eastern North Carolina, so there is a heavy presence of vinegar in this also to give it a little tang.
Sam completes our cue with collard greens and baked beans.
This is some of the best that Eastern North Carolina has to offer.
Oh, man.
The pork is very tender. It has that smoked flavor as well. There's also little pieces of the skin included in the barbecue that really gives it a little crunch in it from time to time.
It's a bacony, crispy. That's ridiculous.
When you add that sauce, oh my God.
And the sauce, it's got a little prickly, spicy thing going on. You like one more of that? Oh, yeah. I'll do a little more of that.
The sauce is gonna give you that sweet, tangy feel, but the smoked barbecue is gonna make you feel like, you know, someone at home cooked it.
Man, this is like eat a plate of heaven and then just take a nap.
If you're feeling like life is the pits, some whole hog from Sam Jones Barbecue will put you back in the pink.
If you pull up to a barbecue restaurant and you don't smell smoke, I'd just keep driving if I were you.
Sam Jones all day, every day.
A tree used to grow in Brooklyn, but they needed the firewood to grill this lobster.
Yes!
In the artsy neighborhood of Bushwick in Brooklyn, the locals' creative juices are all fired up.
When you're outside, you feel like just a little kid in a big coloring book.
Yeah.
And people get, right?
Yeah.
I'm happy that we created a place like that here.
This arts community puts the emphasis on community, and that backyard barbecue vibe is on full display at Seawolf. The key to unlocking all these happy food memories is simple: wood plus flame. General Manager Eric Bieber, please tell us about the fired-up fun of a Seawolf signature dish, the make-your-own lobster taco.
As you can see, we have
Onions and jalapenos flame it up with their old drinking buddy, tequila.
We're gonna burn off the alcohol. We'll be left with a little bit of the tequila flavor, and we're gonna go ahead and add our black beans.
Lime juice and cilantro put the beans in the bag. And Eric par cooks a couple 2-pound lobsters, then splits them.
We're gonna give them a quick brushing of butter, parsley, and Old Bay.
What sort of wood you working with, Eric?
Maple, beech, hickory, cherry. Kind of a milder combination of wood. The sear from our wood-fired grill is basically gonna take the flavor of the lobster from delicious to out of this world.
This is the deluxe lobster package, complete with smoky flavor and grill mark racing stripes. It's served with cilantro rice, our black beans, and fresh pico de gallo. Even the tortilla gets a go on the grill.
Wood-fired lobster tacos straight from our grill to your mouth. To everything you need to build a lobster taco masterpiece.
Now it's up to you folks.
Wow.
Live your best taco lives.
Yes!
Ooh, this looks so good.
Amazing.
Okay, I think I'm gonna pour this butter all over the lobster first. You literally took the whole lobster.
Fresh black beans, yes, of course, please.
The pico de gallo has to go on top of the beans. It's a weird thing that happens that people do it and it's wrong. They're wrong. Don't do that.
Let's see if those techniques are solid.
I'm not gonna say it's perfect.
Oh, yeah, look at this. Ah.
I take that back. It's the perfect taco. Right off the bat, you can taste the smoke and the fire and the grill on the lobster.
Wait. Wow, the lobster's amazing. Unbelievable. This is the best way to have lobster. I love the fact that you can put it all together yourself. I can't get over this.
Seawolf's adjustable grill also produces a real nice when you get to know him.
Goodness.
At Brooklyn Seawolf, the smoke from the grill may even have the power to carry you away.
I always feel like I'm near the beach when I'm here. It's like a little vacation here. A daycation.
This wood-fired pizza puts the pie into pyromania.
It's a lot of fun to play with fire all day.
And a fired-up San Francisco burger that's literally off the charts.
It's like an 11 out of 10.
In a white-hot food city like New York, the spark that lights the flame is pizza. And in Manhattan's West Village, locals expect a great pizzeria on every street.
We're a nice neighborhood restaurant, and we just make fun pizza and with great ingredients.
A mutual love of pizza brought the Highlands together. They ate it on their first 3 dates. Now, this husband and wife spread that love to the world at Pizza Loves Emily.
Matt loves to cook, and I love to be hospitable to the folks that we take care of and feed. Matt named the restaurant after me. I'm a very lucky lady.
The good fortune extends to the food, which comes from an old-fashioned oven.
This oven is over 150 years old. It was a communal bread oven for the neighborhood.
People used to share an oven? I think I have an oven app on my phone.
It was buried for about 50 years, and then a restaurant came in and found it and renovated it, and now we have it.
Matt checks the temperature, then adds fuel to the fire.
The oven is 18 feet by 14 feet, so you have to make a big fire. We use some maple, some oak, some ash, a nice mix of hardwoods. It's a lot of fun to play with fire all day.
One special thing that old trusty oven fires up these days is Matt's fresh and delicious tribute to his wife, the Emily Pizza.
That's her favorite topping combination. It's very decadent.
The dough is an ingenious hybrid.
It's a little bit Neapolitan, it's a little bit New York. We've created this dough for the type of oven that we have.
That means the pizzas can stand up to the high heat and get nice and crispy without drying out or burning.
Dough is stretched out now. We're just gonna put some cheese on and then put it in the oven.
With cheese this good, you won't even miss the sauce.
This cheese is a dried mozzarella that's shredded, nice and melty. It's good for the heat of the oven that we have.
And since he's got to get the pizza in the oven somehow...
This is a pizza peel. This is great for picking up our pizza and putting it in the oven. And don't get on my bad side. My chefs know not to, you know, careful.
We're cool. What's that other medieval weapon?
This is a turning peel. Made of steel. It's a heavy weight. It's good for spinning the pizza around and does most of the heavy lifting.
Matt gets the pie dark in color and crispy in texture.
It's nice and charred. Underskirt looks good. Looking good, Emily. A little kiss at the top here. Every pizza I make, I love.
Kind of feeling like a third wheel here. Why are you slicing that pie toppings-less?
We cut it before we top it so the toppings don't get all stuck all over the cutters.
And these aren't your everyday fixins.
We have ground pistachios. I like the richness of pistachios. It also adds a little bit of crunch to the pizza. It's a cool green color too.
Get ready, it gets even sweeter.
There's some honey. There's a nice sweetness, just like Emily.
At this place, even the cheese has a love story.
This is an Italian truffle cheese. It's called sotto cenere, which means under the ashes. After it's made, they bury it in different spice ashes, and it gives it a nice, beautiful flavor.
It adds a layer of fiery smokiness to this sweetie pie.
Every day I'm truffling. This is our namesake pie of the Emily. It's gonna be love at first bite.
Wow, this is good.
Yikes. I would never think to put pistachio on a pizza, but it works so well.
Yeah, I could kill this whole thing myself.
Right?
It's so good.
Oh my God, you taste the honey? The truffle is perfect. This is definitely something else.
This wood-fired crust is lit.
The tastiness builds.
When you think of Italian sauce, you think of red wine. I think the red wine is a little bit heavy. White wine makes it nice and crisp and clean tasting.
Some salt, and then it's into the blender with their house-dried oregano.
These tomatoes are from New Jersey, so we know they're really Italian.
Bada bing.
Pizza ready. We have our dough stretched out, and then we're gonna put sauce in. That's going right in the oven.
Once again, fully unadorned, a real come-to-cheeseless moment.
We're gonna finish it on the dome right here. Bottom's nice. All right, and we're done.
Done, as in ready to rock the mozz.
If you put this cheese on before it went in the oven, it would lose a lot of its beautiful stringiness and creaminess.
And you're not getting this cheese at most pizzerias.
The stracciatella is a mozzarella that's been soaking in a cultured cream.
Olive oil and custom-grown basil round things out.
These little leaves have a lot of flavor in them.
This Luca lives up on the second floor of flavor.
It's traditional, but it's got its own flair. The Luca all fired up.
Delicious.
The best mozzarella I've ever had, definitely. The basil gives it a great, fresh taste. Really adds to the seasoning and spicing of this pizza.
The pizza sauce doesn't taste like a normal sauce. It tastes a lot smokier. It's like a grown-up pizza.
Stracciatella is delicious. It's super creamy, very fresh. I love it.
You can definitely tell it's wood-fired. You can taste it.
We couldn't get a table, so we got it to go.
There's a wood-fired heart beating in the West Village at Pizza Loves Emily. It's the pizza that loves you back. From the Golden Gate to the Mission, San Francisco food fans demand the very best.
The people in San Francisco are hyper-critical.
Sandwich.
The brisket is from this area of the cow, right coming down the leg into the breastplate area.
To prep this beast for the blaze, trimming comes first. Then, basic salt and pepper.
It's really important in my...
It's the most forward component of the taste.
I'm a sucker for like good slaw and all the extras.
Yeah, you love the slaw, I know.
I do.
Got the pickles.
Then you are in luck, because the fires at 4505 Burgers and Barbecue are going all night long.
You walk by here at midnight, and there's smoke coming out of this building.
In Atlanta, where there's smoke, there's awesome barbecue.
Tastes like it's been smoked for days, not hours, days.
Is it hot in here? Or is it just Atlanta soaring like the mighty phoenix with a plate full of fire-grilled food in its flame beak?
I've always loved cooking on wood. Wood ovens, wood grill, wood rotisserie.
Owner Robert Amick took that love and made it the centerpiece of his restaurant.
It's like having a giant fireplace in the middle of the room.
His southern take on wood-fired cooking is on full display at the ATL hotspot, 2 Urban Licks.
Food that was so good you wanted to lick your fingers afterwards. It's that fun and that special.
No dish on the menu brings it all together like the wood oven shellfish roast.
You got this rich, hearty, spicy fisherman stew, but it's got that elements of wood smoke coming out of the wood fire oven.
Chef Michael Bertozzi puts 2 woods to the test.
We use oak and hickory. Oak is for the continuous long burn. The hickory imparts this like bacon fat, like rich kind of flavor to all the food.
We begin with a prime potato preparation.
Thin-skinned potatoes, they have like a real rich creaminess to them. First, we're gonna rough chop our shallot, add in some garlic.
He also adds salt and thyme.
In goes our duck fat. It does give it a little bit of richness and heartiness.
That fat can also take higher heat, so it won't scorch in the wood-burning oven. It's on to the fish.
When our seafood hits a hot pan, it's gonna cook a lot more evenly, rather than trying to heat that pan and then the pan's trying to heat the seafood all the way through.
Olive oil, garlic, and shallots get things sizzling.
Add in our lobster.
That's half a Maine lobster, but there's more.
We got our Prince Edward Island mussels, Tupelo Island clams, head-on Georgia white shrimp. Coastal Georgia seafood should get a lot of credit. Some of the best seafood you're gonna find in the U.S.
After giving the seafood some heat, the pan gets loaded up with goodness.
Add in our Spanish chorizo, confit potatoes, local kale, pinches of dried Italian oregano.
The chef keeps the pan going in the oven, then adds the finishing touches, including some white wine.
A little bit for the pan, a little bit for the chef. Last but not least, some of our Calabrian chili butter. It's that slow, gentle burn that just kind of like keeps you going back for more. That's gonna be the base of our sauce.
Ready, aim, fire.
God, the smell on this is outrageous. Really get the nice heat from that sauce from the Calabrian chilies. Super, super tasty.
That sauce holds the flavors of everything that pan has to offer, so the dish gets a special edition.
So we use chapa, which is an Argentinian milk bread. It crisps up really nice in the wood fire oven. It's great for sucking up the last bit of the juice in the bottom of the bowl. You're gonna need it for sure.
It's the best of the sea, all fired up.
2 Urban Licks, wood-fired shellfish roast. Now you're fishing with fire.
Super buttery, super good.
You can really taste the smoke and the wood and all the dishes that they serve here.
Oh, unbelievably sweet.
It's a combination of so many different flavors. You got mussels and lobster.
Just tastes like the ocean.
That's good lobster tail.
Fun to soak up the sauce with those potatoes. Kind of delivered a kick of flavor to your mouth. That chorizo is really nice, too.
You just take the bread and dip it in the sauce, catching all the flavors.
Chef Mike's next feat is a juicy southern slab of meat, 2 Urban Licks smoked brisket.
We use prime brisket just because that extra fat content really makes a difference.
The meat gets rubbed 3 times for luck.
So we're gonna start out with our kosher salt.
The salt enhances the flavor, as does his next rub, the house's signature blend 2-spice.
Paprika in here is gonna bring out that
deliciousness.
Start melting that butter a little bit. Shallots, give it a nice little shake. Garlic. Fresnos have a little bit of kick to them. Does give it a nice little punch to this cream corn.
The corn gets added with a touch of salt.
Add in our lime. Mayonnaise next.
Mayo, rather than cream, adds tangy smoothness.
A little bit of the jack cheese. Cilantro at the end for a fresh pop.
The brisket comes out for a hearty home-style plate.
Fat equals flavor, so this is the end I'm always gonna go for. Easy to slice through that bark. Oh yeah. Let's add in our esquite-style Mexican street corn.
Just to add a touch more flavor to savor.
A little bit of red wine jus. 2 Urban Licks smoked brisket. You're welcome, world.
Tastes like it's been smoked for days, not hours, days.
You can see the pink and the transition in the color as it was smoked. You just can't do that on just a regular old grill.
You don't even need to cut it. You just pull it apart.
Taste of Southern food, but just a different spin on it.
For a mix of down-home flavors with that fun night out feel, Atlanta's 2 Urban Licks is just peachy. All the best food in Texas is cooked on open flame, AKA the cowboy microwave.
Yeah!
Amble west a piece from Houston, and you'll find yourself in sprawling prairie. The kind that puts one to mind of hungry cowboys and open fire cooking.
Pretty peaceful around here. There's cows around, a lot of horses in this part of the country.
A lot of ranching in this area.
Texas, you know, I'd like the rugged individualism. The cowboys, they would make fires with their chuck wagons and on cattle rides.
Chef Anthony Decker takes the open fire cooking of the Old West upscale at Anthony's Market Grill. But he ain't from around these parts.
He's a Dutchman, but he got to Texas just as fast as he could. He's family.
Anthony moved here in 1990 and has since built a fire that feeds hungry folks for miles around.
These guys have got it down. Most of the time when we come in here, we actually like to sit there at the kitchen bar just to watch.
And for some serious viewing excitement, Anthony gives the nearby Gulf the open fire treatment with his delectable wood-grilled for the flame, a Caesar.
Yeah, we're having fun doing this. It's kind of like you're at the dentist.
I know the drill. With the Caesar emulsified and all cavities filled. Not to change the subject, but what's next? As those little champs cook, stone-ground grits with Asiago cheese gets prepped.
Now remember, we're in Texas, so if you try to sneak Insta grits, they kick you right out.
From fire to plate, see how it does on a little prairie eagle, AKA the flame-kissed half rotisserie chicken.
By doing so in a slow motion mode, the meat doesn't get cooked too fast and too aggressive, where it doesn't render out all the juices.
He pre-seasons with a chili powder-based rub.
Gives you the right amount of kick that makes you really feel like, hey, I'm in Texas.
He's got that magic flavor touch.
We take a fair amount from the hand, and we loosely season the chicken with it, let it get happy.
After marinating a spell, this fowl lands on a specially designed no-pier spit and perches over the fire. Why so tender on these victuals?
The moment you crack or break the chicken, it runs out all the juices and they dry out instantly.
Smart! Singing backup on this Lone Star Serenade, oven-roasted olive oil fingerling potatoes, cipollini onions, and a little Popeye fuel sautéed in garlic herb butter.
You can hear the spinach starts popping. This is a great sign.
Ring your air triangles, everyone, and repeat after me. Come and get it!
Our famous rotisserie flame-kissed chicken. Makes every cowboy and cowgirl happy.
Yeehaw! You can taste a little bit of the smoky flavor to it, which makes it very nice. But it's not dried out at all.
It's got to be the rotisserie and the way they do it. They've got their timing down. It's excellent. I love these fingerling potatoes, the way they do them in a little olive oil. Just mouth-watering.
But no amount of mouth-watering is going to put out the flames at Anthony's Market Grill. Texas-sized open-fire flavor with some Dutch spice.
Food like this makes me feel really good, even on a bad day, you know.
And I don't have to cook.
Hope you save room for some flaming dessert.
Oh, I love bananas.
Oh! The flames of fired-up food burn bright in the heart of the Mojave. In that oasis known as Palm Springs.
Ain't no place like this place.
This spa town between Vegas and LA was always a hotspot for old-school celebrities. And since the 70s, Swinger Central could be found at Melvin's.
When you step into Melvin's, you step back into time.
People from all age ranges come here to get a piece of history.
The tuxed-out waiters and tableside service make you feel like you've stepped back to a different age, where a big night out meant flambéed entrees, like the classic steak Diane.
One of Frank Sinatra's favorite dishes. I think he ordered it every single time he came in here.
Chef Jen knows what made Old Blue Eyes swoon. A creamy cognac sauce built from sautéed garlic, shallots, and shiitake mushrooms.
We're getting a really good caramelization on our mushrooms to bring out these really deep, earthy flavors.
First earth, then fire.
This is the special ingredient right here, cognac. Not only does it give you the fire and the flame, it imparts a great flavor. I'll try not to burn the entire place down, so here we go.
Fire in the hole.
Woo! That's the flame we're looking for.
You don't want too much of the good stuff to burn off, so Jen ups the alcohol ante with red wine.
A little for the pan and a little for me. Ooh, maybe it's a big one for me this time.
She finishes the sauce with Dijon balsamic and a duo of demi-glazes.
These ingredients, what it's doing is adding some dark deliciousness.
A little cream lightens it up.
Oh, it's so delicious. And what makes steak Diane is actually this sauce.
True, but don't sleep on that beef. A fine filet cooked tableside by a snappily dressed captain like Robert Baldock.
I've been doing all the cooking in the main room for the past 42 years.
Shallots and enoki mushrooms make their way into a portable pan, followed by garlic.
Oh, ladies, are we enjoying this?
And with this second shot of cognac, fire away sizzles high with the succulent sauce made by Chef Jen.
My mouth is watering, guys. My mouth is watering.
Robert plates the fillets with veggies and Duchess potatoes, and oh, Diane, that's classy.
Oh, my goodness. This is the dish, the Melvin's signature. It's well-rounded, it's dynamic, it's got punch, and yet it's not overpowering to the meat. It's perfect. Down.
Check, please.
In an age where sweatpants are considered formal attire, the spirit of swankiness lives on at Melvin's. No one knows the name of the caveman we have to thank for inventing open-fire cooking, but he definitely deserves his own holiday. Flame on!